Stories are 2020 hindsight. My name is Osadumebi, and every week I will tell you a short story written by a Nigerian writer or author. That's the long and short of it. So without much ado, this week's story is by Oluchi Marvelous, and it's titled The Cut That Will Always Bleed. Mom, I'm off to Abe's. That was the last thing she remembered saying. But now she was standing beside a coffin. Her dress felt too bright for the scene, and the silence was unnaturally heavy. Abe was there, placing a single white lily on the casket, her favorite flower. She smiled and stepped forward. "Abe," she called out, confused. "What's going on?" But Abe turned and walked away, like she had not seen her, like she had not heard her, like she did not exist. And just like that, snap, she wasn't at the funeral anymore. She was in a hospital. Everything was moving too fast and too slow at once, like being pulled through time without permission. Ward 36, patient 152, health status declining. A nurse's voice echoed, clipped and clinical. She turned towards the sound. A doctor brushed past her, then another. Nurses wheeled carts. One checked a clipboard, another held a defibrillator. Everyone was moving in rhythm, in panic, in purpose. She followed the current, brushing shoulders with no one, touching nothing. She turned a corner and saw her mother slumped in a plastic chair, trembling, shoulders shaking with silent sobs. She ran to her. Mommy, I'm here. I'm okay," she said, kneeling, trying to hold her hands. Mommy, why are you crying? Please talk to me. Mommy, look at me." Nothing. She turned away, eyes burning, and there was Abe again. "Hey, Abe," she shouted, running to her. "Why did you ignore me earlier? Look, what's going on?" Abe did not flinch, did not blink, did not even look at her. Instead, Abe walked. No, Abe drifted towards Ward 36. The door was half open. Nurses rushed in. "Claire!" A shock of static buzzed. "Heart rate is unstable." "Just keep on trying," the doctor barked. Machines beeped violently. A nurse pumped the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another pressed adrenaline into the IV line. The air smelled of antiseptic and desperation. She tried to step into the room but couldn't. Something unseen pressed her back. An invisible wall. A force. A truth. "Mom!" she screamed, turning back. "I'm here. Please hear me out." But her voice collapsed into echoes. Her mother wept, hunched over. She stumbled back to Abe, waving frantically. "Abe, hello, Abe, it's me. Hey, Abe, what's going on? And why is there another me?" And that was it. Her voice cracked, chest caved, and the tears came. A snap. She was back in her bedroom, but not quite. Her mother was packing up her clothes in slow, deliberate folds, crying into the fabric. She reached out to hold her, but her hands passed through the air like smoke. She sat on the edge of the bed beside her mother, and for the first time, silence felt like an answer. It hit her. Something terrible had happened. A soft crackle and a shift. She was in the sitting room now. Abe was there. So was Simon, her quiet crush from literature class. And others, classmates, neighbors. No one was talking. No one was smiling. Then she saw it. Above the mantel, a photo frame. Her face. Her smile. The one she wore that day she didn't even want to take the picture. Hair barely brushed. Dressed in a lilac blouse she never really liked. Amarachi Faith Ume, 2007 to 2025. Her breath caught. Another shift. She stood before her grave. Her mother knelt at the tombstone, clutching the earth, whispering prayers, curses, grief. Abe stood behind her, clutching a rosary. This made her heart crack. That was when it all came back, like a tidal wave crashing without mercy. "Mom! I'm off to Abe's," she had said, shutting the door behind her. She now stood by the gate, watching herself walk away, clueless. She tried to scream at her alternate self to go back. Don't go! But her voice was carried off by the wind. Another scene. She was at the grocery store now, trailing behind the other her. She picked up 2 packs of yogurt drinks, chin-chatted with the cashier about university admissions, and then walked out, carefree, alive. She remembered now. They had gone to Abe's place to celebrate. Their JAM results had just been released. She got 305, more than enough for mass communication. But she didn't care about the numbers. She was happy, grinning like a child handed a sweet. She and Abe had been friends since SS1. Abe was going for accounting and Amara for mass comm. Everyone called them AA, like the genotype. They liked it too. When she got to Abe's house, Simon was already there. She wasn't surprised. They all met at JAM lessons, and it wasn't unusual for Abe to invite Simon over. What she didn't know was that everything was about to shift, like a car rolling backward on neutral. She blinked and found herself in the kitchen. Abe was pouring the yogurt Amara had just bought from the store nearby. Her alternate self had offered to go with her, but Abe had said no, nudging her towards Simon instead. "Amara, go and spend time with him. Talk to him. Be real with your feelings," Abe had said. In that moment, it felt like kindness. But then she saw it. Abe slipped something into one of the drinks, stirred it, smiled, walked back into the sitting room like nothing happened. They all chatted, Amara, Abe, Simon, laughing about campus life and the crazy plans they'd make. The talk about living together in university sounded so warm, so full of hope. She watched it all unfold, frozen, a ghost in her own memory. Then the scene shifted. Abe and Simon had taken her alternate self upstairs into Abe's room. They undressed her. "Look, I don't think I can do this," Simon said. What do you mean?" Abe's voice was cold. "Don't tell me you have chickened out, oh." No. Look, it's just that it is not the right thing to do." Well, too late. She doesn't even like you. And she never will, not after she sees these tapes. Her voice cracked inside her chest. Abe had always known Amara liked Simon, but she never encouraged anything. She just watched. Look, if I were you, Abby continued, now fiddling with her phone, I would just enjoy this. Opportunities like this don't come at random. Abby stepped back and hit record. Simon moved toward her alternate self, ignoring her faint murmurs, her weak protests. She watched herself, helpless, violated, broken. When it was over, blood stained the sheets. Her eyes were open but empty. She was barely breathing.
She's not breathing,
Simon said. What do you mean? Abby dropped the phone and walked closer to the bed.
Simon, you killed her. Me? This was your idea. Now it's my fault.
Abby rolled her eyes. All I wanted was a clip. You just kept going like the dog you are. Simon panicked.
Hey, God. Look, how much of that drug did you even use?
I don't know. Is there a dose?
What are you even saying?
Simon shouted.
I'm not doing this with you. We need to get rid of the body.
Abby's voice was hushed now. Her mom knows she's here. And my parents will be back soon. They cleaned her, dressed her up like nothing had happened, packed away everything. The next scene, her front door. Her mother screamed at the sight of her daughter's lifeless body. She watched from the side, broken. Not just because she had been betrayed, but because no one else knew what had happened. Only she did. Oluchi is a writer and storyteller who resides in Lagos and studies in Abakaliki, Ebonyi State. She is a medical student with a deep love for words, crafting stories which reflect the beauty, chaos, and complexities of everyday life. You can read more of her work on Medium at Oluchi Archives, and connect with her on Instagram at Oluchi Writes and on X at Oluchi 2005. Details and links will be in the episode description. If you've got a story you would like to be featured on this podcast, or a published book you want to make into an audiobook, I would love to hear from you. Send an email to info@osadumebi.com or send me a message at osadumebi on either Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or X. I look forward to collaborating with you. And if you've enjoyed this week's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with that one person you know will enjoy listening. Tell them that stories are a good escape for a few minutes each week.